BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, and soccer to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds, ads, and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online. The game starts here.
What's happening? What's going on? What it do? We are back once again. Y'all see how I came from the couch to the chair? Just a little something. We are here. Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. Pom-poms in the air. Pom-poms in the air. Ooh, yep. What? Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. This is Band Sessions with Da Boom. It's your boy Terrell Key, aka T Reezy.
It's your girl Danielle Walls, aka Don Yeezy.
And it's me, Toby Johnson, aka Furious Styles 009.
Nope, you are Furious Green Thumb. That's who you are. You're forever Furious Green Thumb because you have the plants and the greenery in the back and the top. We see you. We see you.
Bonafide pothead.
I love it.
Right. So before we get into this thing, y'all, make sure you like the page, follow the page, like the channel, follow the channel. We are on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts. We're also on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the bell because it all helps the cause. That's the I love JSU, baby, Jackson State University, Mississippi's Urban and Comprehensive University. Y'all see I got my shirts popped up. I got my
They
shirt.
propped up. They propped up today.
But I don't really like. I don't think I like this setup. I gotta change.
Now
this.
I get it. I get the.
You get it.
Okay.
You get it now.
I see.
You get it. You see. You get it.
I see
So
the
I was like, I had them here. I had them on the pillows, and I said I need something a little bit more professional, a little bit better. And I said, let me stick them on the wall. They're stuck with super glue to never come down. So if you guys are looking at my shirts, JSU right here, Love the Boom right here, always with Doc Baby. We're here, guys. So Toby, Danielle, what up, though? What it do?
We did not plan wearing these.
So we're twinsies. We're twinsies today. This was not planned. I just, we normally we pick out a shirt, we pick out some apparel to wear this JSU, and just so happened I said, I'm gonna put this on this time, and just so happened Toby has his on, but it's all good. It's all right. We represent everything that JSU represents. So Toby is trying to be like me. Ain't that right, Toby?
Cheers. I want to be just like you, man.
Hey, man. Hey, I
love you, guys.
I love you too, bro. Hey, you know what? It's greatness on this screen right here.
Hey, you know it.
Danielle is the reason why we got these hoodies, though.
Yeah, I know it. I know.
Danielle got these hoodies. So
courtesy of Dope since 1980.
Courtesy of
Dope since 1980.
80s babies.
We need like 20 more. Hey, hit the like if you want a hoodie. Like if you'll purchase one. Hit the like. If you'll purchase one of these hoodies. Band Sessions with the Boom.
Merch.
There you go.
Hey.
Merch. Band Sessions merch. So we got to show it off. If we're going to talk about it, we got to show it off.
We need a zoom in. I wish we could get a zoom in right there.
I can zoom. I can do a manual zoom. How about that? A manual zoom.
Look at that.
Wait.
All I say, I can tell you this.
Yeah.
I got a teenage son, and he hangs out with me when he wants to hang out with me. But today he said he wanted a hoodie, and I'm like, "You want a hoodie because your daddy's face on it?" And he was like, "Nah, because Auntie Danielle and Uncle Reese." So
forget the person that's responsible for his existence. He wants the other two.
Listen,
By
no
the way,
shade. That was an uppercut. I'll take it.
Nephew can get a hoodie. Sure,
You can get him one.
Yeah.
What size he need? What size he need?
Yeah.
We'll get him a medium.
Yeah.
He got to grow into it because he ain't getting the one.
It.
He is only getting one. We're not buying one now.
Yeah, you got to pay for the next one. The next one, he should be a student at Jackson State, hopefully.
Hey, okay. I love the hoodies though, because I think the caricatures are just super cool, like depictions of us. I think it's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like she got the pooch, didn't even know. Like Terrell, did you tell her that?
I didn't say anything. See? I just sent her. I sent her the pictures of us. I said, "Well, here are our profile pictures. Well, here's my profile picture that I've used, and here are their profile pictures." So I know that they like their
You have a shout out to the artist?
Yes, Darlene Newman is her name. She's an artist here in Memphis, graphic artist here in Memphis. Shout out to Darlene Newman.
Shout out Darlene.
She's the one that did everything. She designed it. She created it. You know, I just sent her the pictures. I said, well, here's Toby's Facebook profile picture. Here's Danielle's Facebook profile picture. They have to like their profile pictures.
Because I didn't. In his.
It's the same thing. So I said, hopefully they like how they look on their profile. So that's how they came about. So anyway, that's it.
It works together too. It works with all of us together. You know,
it does.
Like with the red and the blue and the hat and your glasses and then
the red bone in the middle.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Come on, yellow.
The red bone.
She said red bone.
Oh my God, man! Hey, guys, I got a question though.
What you got?
I got a question. Give me off the top of your head a characteristic that's needed to be a part of the Sonic Boom of the South. Like this is going out to our incoming freshmen. Like if you want to be successful in the boom, what is a characteristic that you need in order to be successful in the Sonic Boom of the South?
So many things.
Oh my God. Literally, I had 5 that popped up, and I was like, no.
Dag, that you was able to separate like, 5.
I was, for real. I had 5. I'm not going to tell you all 5, but I'll tell you. I'm not going to go first. Ladies first. Unless she's not ready.
I'm ready.
All right, go
I'm ready. Be flexible. Be flexible. Because things move rapidly. Things move quickly. And things change quickly too.
Yeah.
So be flexible. And then the second one, I got to do it. Don't be stupid.
Oh, that's one of those. That's my slogan at school. Don't do stupid.
Don't be stupid.
That's funny.
I love it.
That's a Doc quote right there.
That's Dr. Ware.
Dr. Ware. Dr. Ware is right. Dr. Ware said that. Nah, Dr. Dale didn't say it. Dr. Ware said that. You're right.
Do you guys think that we're walking through life living through the same quotes?
Yes.
Probably. Wow.
Every day.
That makes so much sense.
Literally, I had a theme at my school that the flexibility was like being a palm tree, because in palm trees in the wind and during hurricanes they bend, they don't break. So it was like just be flexible. Like things might change at the drop of a dime. So like just bend, don't break. Be the palm tree, not an oak tree. Oak trees break, palm trees bend, then they pop back up. And just
I love that.
Yeah.
Characteristic. You have to be humorous. You have to be humorous. One of the things that has always stood out to me about being in the Sonic Boom of the South is the fact that we have the funniest people on the planet that really need to be on a comedy show or some type of stage in front of a microphone, but they're not. They're there playing an instrument, but they are the funniest people. But it's like when you come in, you gotta kind of have some humoristic characteristic about yourself to even mesh with that
sense of humor.
Yeah, some type of something, even if it's small, because it's going to get enhanced. Because you hear all these jokes and you hear all this funny stuff and all these cracks and jonesing on everybody. You just gotta know how to just fit in with that. That's a characteristic. And then I'm gonna give 2 because Danielle gave 2. Be great on your instrument. Is that Be great.
Excellent. Excel. Excellent.
Yeah. Be great on your on your instrument, because you don't come to Jackson State necessarily learning how to play your instrument. That's just a real life fact right there, because if you cannot play your instrument, you will not make the sonic boom of the South. Those are my two. That's a great question.
But you know, like, I think you can't. I think you can come in and not be great, but if you have a passion for your instrument and being around all that greatness, you're gonna become great.
I agree.
You know, like it's gonna push you to like, hey, I don't want to be embarrassed when I come into the band room. I don't want to be embarrassed when we go to sectionals and we have to play 1-on-1. I don't want to be embarrassed when I come in that drum room. But my characteristic was in the work world now, being an adult, something that has been big and making things great around me is collaboration and working well with others. Not being stubborn and stuck in your own mind and thinking that your way is the best way, but being able to communicate with those that are around you and find the best way for the team, playing well with others on the playground, working well with others. I just think for everything from in the drum room when Bethea would come up with the music, but then we had to come up with the flashes. And it was something that was really like cool when an upperclassman came in and it was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Or they'll tell you that's whack, you know, and to be able to work through being whack to doing stuff that's cool and being accepted, and you know that's going to make it to the field on Saturday, or it's going to make it to the stands or something. And so, like, yeah, being able to be collaborative with everybody that's around you and work through things and make things that are cool and accepted and hot. So, like, yeah, working well with others.
I like it.
I love it.
You like it? I love it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
The boom teaches us a lot of life lessons.
They do.
Yes.
Yeah. And some of those lessons, I don't want to get too deep. Real quick, I'm gonna say this. A lot of those lessons really made sense 20 years later.
Yes. Still finding out about it.
Like what Toby was saying, like, do all of us live our lives kind of like by these same quotes that we heard over and over when we were in the band together?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's carrying us through life. It
Let
makes so much sense though.
Get active in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah. Teach us. We're always open to learn things. All right, so it's time. Toby Danielle, who we got coming up?
I guess what?
Special.
Hey.
I got my pom-pom. Who we got coming up, guys?
So coming up. Crab 95.
Hey. Oh boy.
WT.
Oh boy.
This is my brother. Essay.
Hey. Yeah.
What's up, Alfred?
What's happening, y'all?
Look at the background.
I got my stuff together. You heard me? Yeah.
Heard.
Don't play with me. I done came through. Yeah. See, got them Z's in the back. You feel me?
This man
was out.
Hey, I can't listen. Man, you have always been okay. I can't. I don't want to get. I'm laughing at you. You know he got the shirt. He ready.
Yeah.
Background. All right, y'all. We got Essay on this thing. Essay, welcome to the show, man. How you doing, my good sir?
Man, I'm so happy to be here, man. Look, I said this couldn't go on and me not even coming on here. That ain't gonna even be right. You heard me?
Hey, I love it. I'm glad you were available, man. Once again, thank you for coming on. Can't wait to get
Anytime.
into the conversation, man. We're gonna get started right on in. Toby Danielle always come through with the initial, so I'm gonna step back to the side just a piece, but I'm gonna
I
jump
know
in,
Toby ready. I know
man.
Toby ready.
I'm so
Just
ready for this,
always
man.
them
I'm so ready
WT
for this, man.
boys.
Let's say, man, like you know that, like you've popped up in an episode, maybe two episodes where people brought your name up, in the how you contributed to the boom, to our swag, to Z5Z, to just everything that we do. But let's go back. Let's go back.
Right.
Can you tell us your boom story? Like, how did this become you a part of Jackson State University Sonic Boom of the South WTZ5Z?
So it wasn't really supposed to happen. I didn't even go to Jackson State to play in the band. And a little fun fact, I was actually headed to FAMU.
No,
Um,
come
yeah,
on.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I was headed to FAM.
Okay.
I was all signed up, ready to go. We got that first bill with that out of state fee, and this is in 95. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was like 18 grand for the semester. Mama
Mm-hmm.
said, "Oh Lord, baby, can't do that." So she was like, "You got an auntie stay in Jackson, Mississippi." I said, "Jackson, where that's at?" She said, "Mississippi." I said, "If you want me to go there, you got to send me there." So she filled out all the paperwork, everything. I mean, literally packed all my stuff up, brought me to Jackson, dropped me off. Here you go. So me and Herm went to high school together. And so
And I got saying that
Herm was like,
Herman Johnson,
yeah,
right?
yep. So Herm was like, "Man, what you doing here?" I said, "Man, here coming to school, man." And so I really was, going to FAM, to be honest with you, to go to engineering school.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got to Jackson State, they didn't have engineering at the time. So, I was like, well, damn, I'm here now. So, they was like, well, so it was like a 3-2 program where you could do like math and then pre-engineering. But in the run up to that, Herm and them was out there. And so school had started and everything. And so Herm told me, he was like, "Man, come to the band room. Come to the band room." So I went to the band room talking about they and them, so they in there sitting in there. He's like, "Yeah, why don't you come to practice? Just come check us out." I'm telling them, I'm like, "Look, man, I ain't come here for the band. I came here to go to school, and that was it. Come check us out. Come." So me, I go check them out. Man, I get in that band hall, man. Them dudes set me up, man. So then, so I go in the little room. So first we're in a percussion room. And they're listening. All right. So then they bring me in there. Oh, everybody come in the band hall as if they're about to do like maybe the run through the show or just the whole band come together and run through some music. Got up in there, man. I'm sitting down in there chilling, and that's when the cymbals used to be along the wall.
Right.
We was on the sides. So I get in there, man. The whole thing just turned to me. Zoom. Boys, oh yeah, you got this dude from New Orleans. Da, 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 da. Give him some cymbals. I'm gonna see what he got.
Yeah. Front Street.
Like, oh Lord, here you go.
They set you up.
After band, you got to march. You got to boys but they'll say, "I give you 26, 25 every semester." Oh, sign me up.
Scholarship.
Sign me up. When I heard that money, you heard me, I was like, sign me up. I was
Right.
getting 26. Then he told me, like, "Look, you gotta do something in the spring." All right, I'll take some band classes, read some music. I already knew how to do that because I played horn, in like elementary and all that other stuff growing up. So yeah, I got so all the way up to like the 7th, 8th grade, I played the horn. So I could play anything with 3 valves and read music. I could still do it now.
Boy.
And then
Okay.
when I got in the 7th grade, I was in a color guard. And then I saw the drum section because they was funky in junior high. I was like, yeah, I'm going in the drum section. And it was the drum section ever since. I mean, I literally left playing the horn all them years and went started something totally new and got on the drums. And
Keep
then
the
I saw the
horn.
cymbals and it was it.
Wow.
So that's really how I got in the band. And once I got in there, it was all she wrote. I was on then.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, Toby, you had something?
No, go ahead.
I know you do, but
Got a
okay.
lot. Yeah, but
So,
we good.
so
Right.
what high school? You're from New Orleans. What high school
Went to
did
the
you go to?
K. Kennedy, the best
Kennedy.
band in the land.
I didn't know that.
The
We
best
went to
band in the
Kennedy.
land. Me, Herm,
Wow.
everybody who came from the K was cold. Cause that's
Yeah.
cold.
Facts.
Anything was it, it was Kennedy and then everything else in the city. All about
That's
talk about St. Aug, this, that, and the third. No, man, no,
back
get out
then.
of
I
here.
remember. I remember hearing Kennedy a lot. I do
We
remember
was
hearing
baby
about Kennedy.
Southern.
I remember
Because
hearing about
we
Kennedy.
our directors came from there. Our uniforms, our school colors was blue and gold. They was the Jaguars. We was the Cougars. We marched just like them. We had the white plume. That's how I used to come in there. All our little cadence. Kennedy's got the best band in the land. We played all that. That's lightning. Jigga, jigga, jigga. That's thunder. All that. This, everything Southern had, we played.
Lightning.
We ain't
Wow.
have no girls in the band. Nothing.
For
Yeah.
real?
That's
In
crazy.
In
high
high
school?
school?
Yeah.
Only we had maybe like 5 girls, and they all was in like the clarinets and the flute. That was it. Like Michelle, just a few of them.
You
Your
We
band
had
naming
director.
girls
you
coming.
naming them.
Yeah,
Your
girls
band
started
director
coming
went
out.
to school.
Michelle, Keisha, Rondo.
Yeah, it was look. The band director, he was cool with. He had already known girls wasn't coming in there because, it was that we was. Yeah, it was for real. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That's
And
wild.
this was like, and you got to realize this was like 94, 93. So it wasn't all this social media. So when you closed them back room doors in the band, it was over,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So SA,
That's
tell me
So
when did you fall in love with the sonic boom of the South? Because like hearing your story,
for,
it wasn't what enticed you to
Right.
come to Jackson State, but we know that you have this intense admiration and love for our school and for the boom. When did it happen? When did you know, like, okay, this is it?
so as soon as I got to Jackson,
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, I like this place. Cause it was, I didn't really know too. I saw Jackson State one other time and they played against Southern. And I had went to a game and I probably was like, I don't know, in the ninth grade, 10th grade, maybe. So you got to realize this, I graduated in 95. So what, 93, 92, something like that. And that was the only time I saw Jackson State. And it was weird to me because they had them quints. And I
Mhm.
just thought, coming growing up in New Orleans, all you seeing was Southern. I just thought that was the countryest thing in the world at first. I was like,
Yeah, it's
they got a
always the
good
Quince.
little band. I said, but them dang on digga 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 things. I was
Mhm.
like, man. And
Digga, digga,
so
digga things.
yeah,
Ah.
and so then when I got to Jack State Band, I was kind of hesitant at first because I was like, man. And then the more I got into it, and then when I went to seeing who was there and finding out, because you got to realize I kind of had a history with Magruder. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? When
Yeah.
Pops came through, so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know all of them was around until I got in there. And
Mhm.
then when I got in there, I was like, oh, hell yeah. I said, they can't mess with us. I was like, I said, and I'm about to bring this over here. I said, we about to take over the swag.
Mhm.
And I had told There that one night, I said, man, I said, we about to be the coldest thing coming through here. And he just laughed. And sure enough, it was on ever since. And I just had that, yeah, we about to take over the world type of mentality. And then, like I said, I knew Herm. So I would then come to find out Gumbo was there. Zed Boy had
Mhm.
came there and played Tennessee that year before me. They was rough. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So none of them boys, that's why our crab year was like, what, I don't know, maybe 8 upperclassmen and 99 crabs, because it
Mhm.
was a million of us that year.
Mhm.
Wow.
But it was all that stuff that stemmed from the year before. And some of them cats from the year before, like Gumbo on 10 and all them boys came from New Orleans. So
Mhm.
I had already known how that thing was going down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that year, when they didn't come back and all of us was there, I was like, man, it's gonna be our time to just kind of pick this up with Herm, because me and Herm had a good relationship in high school.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was like, yeah, and I was comfortable and the sound was coming through and it was good. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then, we had Johanna, we had Smoke. So once I got to seeing, and then I was like, yeah, we got some culture in here, man. We about to make this thing shake. And so after that, my mind state was we about to be the coldest thing coming through here, and that's what we was. And it just kind of started to transform that whole HBCU band culture.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that? You mentioned Johanna, you mentioned Smoke, and then my mind automatically went to like the zillions of people that came out of New Orleans that were band heads, that were musicians, that are still musicians now that still play. It's so many people that came from New Orleans, and then it's like, you think Jackson State was like not on everybody's radar because it's like Jackson State, it seems like it was far away, but it really wasn't that far. But what was right there was Southern, was Grambling, is right there, the Louisiana, Louisiana line,
the boundaries,
the boundaries. So it's kind of like but I'm appreciative to know and to hear, a lot of people came from New Orleans, a lot of talent came out of New Orleans, and folks in New Orleans, man, y'all had a whole different style. Y'all literally were right down the street from us. Y'all were down the road 2.5, 3 hours, but that was a whole different style that came out of New Orleans. And I feel like a lot of that style had a lot to do with like, what's the bands? Look, I can't even believe I'm about to ask this question.
Brass bands.
Thank you. So you got all of the brass bands, you got all of these musicians, you people playing, walking up and down the street, like that whole culture there. And then you bring that culture to Jackson State. It's kind of like people came from New Orleans and just kind of really just took over for the most part. Different regions, different people from different states and cities and states and whatever. But I can appreciate that. I can appreciate the style that you brought. The whole essay style. You know what I'm saying? So
well, even not just because you got to realize. I mean, who we had, and I can't remember all their names. What was I used to call them? Big Slab.
Yeah,
So you had Big
Jackson.
Slab. You had Poor Boy, who was on SNET that year. You had Johanna. You had Fuzzy Wuzzy. You had what's your boy name that played? I think he played trombone. Then we have like a saxophone player too, huh? We had a whole bunch of little cats. Dude sat in the front row. It was a whole bunch of little cats who had came from New Orleans, my crab year. And I think that's what really kind of brought a lot of the goodness out. Because even SA1, you got to realize he came before me. He was that summer band and everything. He was the first one. And he had came from 35.
Yeah.
So I think once we all got there, we all got comfortable, and like I said, Magruder was there, so Magruder made the transitions a lot easier for us. Pop had already had that, he had came from that Southern house, so he knew how that was.
Paul
So they
Adams and
knew
stuff.
how to, they knew how to transition us into a different style, but still feel comfortable and feel natural. You see what I'm saying? Because for a while they used to be like, well, you gotta march like this. And I'm like, and so that style of marching almost just kind of morphed a little bit because it had a little groovy rock to it, but then it still kept that Jackson State little bounce to it. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of morph that into each other, and it got real swingy then. It was like, yeah, this got some funk to it for real.
Made it define.
It's almost like putting a little upbeat second line to something else. Yeah, it had that little swing to it.
There you go. So you said when you said, especially when I bring this thing over here. What we talking about? What thing did you bring over to Jackson State?
Like when I got to Jackson State, they wasn't doing all that twirling and all them flashes and all that.
Symbols.
Joe and Ventez and all them boys before me. It was real vanilla when I got there. Them boys was still marching on like 18s and 16s, and they symbols wasn't shining and none of that, man. They ain't had no gloves. I mean, you got to realize we came out of high school. It was like a challenge every week. Look,
time out. So like band people know 18s, 16s. That's the inch of the symbol. And like if you're not going back in Cash Money Records, 99 going into 2000. If you
Right,
wasn't
right.
rolling in 20s,
Yeah, and so
It was like the
I came
Rams.
out of high school. I was like 5'5" coming out of
yes,
high school throwing 20s.
yeah.
So I wasn't hitting that like, oh, come on, man.
But he hit
And
you.
so, I used to when I got there, I was like, man, y'all symbols dirty. In high school, we used to have to challenge every week for a spot, no matter, because that's just how
Mhm,
good we was.
mhm,
Everybody, like, because we all came in there together. So most of us came from the same junior high and the high school. So we was all familiar. So for 4 years, we all battling for first, second, and third every year. It was
mhm,
every week.
mhm,
It'd be a week if I wasn't on my game and my flashes wasn't unique and I lost the challenge because the challenge would be the whole percussion section. So they'll stand you in a circle and they'll make you challenge for your spot because every week it was just that tight between
mhm.
3 or 4 of us.
Right.
And so, it was all of that, man. We used to come in there, everybody had to shine their symbols, clean them up. We all had to have our new gloves, new bandanas,
Mhm,
So when I got there, I was like, man, come on, no, wow, we about to do this. And so they start catching on. And I start teaching them how to flashes and Mickey Mouse and all them boys.
wow.
Some of them old heads kind of gave a little pushback. But man, when you see that stuff and you go to and you seeing that on the tape and you coming back that week and them and looking you somebody looking like, whoa, them boys coming through. You like, yeah, we about to do more of this. And when and everything's shining and you see them big old discs just pointing, big gold discs pointing up, you like, Lord,
Right.
it look like them bass horns when them big silver boys be shining and it's coming
Mhm,
through.
Hmm.
And that's
right.
what you see on them Z's. And so I was like, look, we all got to get 20s. You about to shine them up. Eric. The only person we had was Jackass. He won't stay with 18s his whole time. You should have put him at the Rosa Parks, him.
Hey, so the Lord.
Put him
Hey,
back
so
there at
pick,
the
so peep this out. So of course, I'm a brass player. I play mellophone, bam. So when you talk about the size, a couple times you mentioned 16s, 18s, 20s. We got to get 20s. So break down like the size of the cymbals. Like, what's the difference between a 16 and a 20? I know it's one is smaller than the other, but the benefit to having a 20 versus a 16 or an 18 on a
so
cymbal.
like so symbols, all right. So it's like a rim, the diameter 16, 18, 20 inches round. But as they get bigger, they get heavier.
Right.
Ah, okay.
And
I'm looking around the
so
room to see
then
if I
they
got a
also
menu.
Yeah, then they also have field and then they have more lightweights.
Mhm,
And so, see, that was the whole thing about how a lot of people used to say SU had the best symbol section, and other people would be like, no. So, you couldn't really, like, I won't challenge, like, if you had some 18s, I wouldn't challenge you because I'm like, you know what, you really sad. You see what I'm saying?
You know
Cause
what?
them some little bitty symbols, man. Like, come on, man. You need to get some weight. You could throw them little Pyrex around, man. Them little garbage can lids. You could sling them things. You get them 20s and you get you some Phil Zildjians.
got some weight.
Then let's talk. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why a lot of people would say, you ain't all that good because you'll put them on a bigger pair of cymbals. You see what I'm saying? And some 20s, and then he lose speed, he lose finesse, he lose all that. Because them cymbals get heavy and them arms,
Hmm.
cymbal players had to have strong arms, to be honest with you, back in them days, boy. Let me tell you, it was like them hands was quick because them cymbals had me limber. I'm slow now, but yeah, but that was the thing. So, even with them 20s, we used to do them funk trains coming through with them cymbals between your
Them
legs
legs.
and jumping
The
up like
20s
that,
between your
man. Them
legs.
big
That's a
old
real
20
thing.
cymbals was heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
And and then I'm short. So if I could
Hmm.
do it, I'm not having no excuses from nobody. Like if I
Yeah.
could do it, my little bitty self, you could do it too,
Hmm.
So that was my thing, bringing the big 20s over, making sure we clean, getting everybody with that finesse, all everybody. And that was probably the most difficult part was taking some of them old heads and teaching them how to twirl and really get,
Hmm.
fly with it because they wasn't used to that. And nobody was. Because to be honest with you, when we rolled up on fam in '95 when we went to them. And
Legendary.
we came out there and we started
Marched that
playing, and
campus.
them symbols went to. It was like, Lord, what are they doing over there?
Because fam
And
was
then we
marching with
called them.
12s.
Yeah, and then we called them back in Alabama,
Back.
I think 2 weeks later, and wore them out right there in the stands on the Battle of the Bands. They didn't know what hit them.
Mhm.
I mean, because we was clean.
Say new.
So here goes something quick, and I think Toby, you were about to say something. I'm
I got
sorry. So here goes something real quick. So thank you, SA Al, aka Al, aka SA, for breaking that down to our listeners and our viewers, because everybody don't know that there are different size symbols. Everybody
Mhm.
don't know that the bigger the size, the better you are,
The
or
harder challenge.
the heavier the symbol is, or the bigger the sound, or whatever it is
Mhm.
that people have figured out to equate what different size symbols are and what that means. So, and it's like, and I can appreciate you, because you were one of the pioneers, or the pioneer of bringing, hey, we're gonna go with a bigger size so we can show these
Mhm.
boys what's really going on. So now that right there, that information that gives people an idea or an opportunity to know or to research or to be like, hey, you know what, this upcoming football season, I'm gonna look at the symbol players and see whose symbol size looks like a 20, who looks like an 18. So I can appreciate that. I just want to put that, I just want to say that real quick. So
Yeah, that's
No,
because you're gonna see them little boy. They gonna get them little bitty little pan tops. They gonna be in there swinging.
you said
we
pan
don't even
tops.
see 18s and
They
16s
tens, but I keep them
like
clean.
anymore. Like
Yeah,
with any
and
school,
then
like
look,
in the SWAC.
you put them on them dubs, and it
Mhm.
yeah, they ain't gonna be
It,
able to do
it's
nothing. They
big. It's
slow
big.
up.
Like you don't even see like 18s anymore. Like in the SWAC, like with any
Oh.
school, it's like it's disrespectful to even
But
show up
see,
to the
they didn't
game.
got slick though, cause they'll go get Sabians, and Sabians make them little. That's why you see them dudes and their symbols
Right.
always crack. For
Mm-hmm.
one, let me tell you, their symbols crack because they buy them cheap.
Yep.
No shots out to Sabian. They make
Mm.
good symbols, but I just don't think they make good marching band
Yeah,
symbols.
they make
So
good symbols for like
yeah.
set,
So
but like
don't
yeah,
take that as a knock to Sabian.
yeah,
But
because they might be a sponsor one
Zildjian
day.
makes to me, Zildjian makes some of the best marching
Mhm.
bands field symbols ever. And if you really wanna impress, the symbol guys of the world. You come on the field with your 20s and they clean and everybody's on point and y'all crisp as I don't know what. You gonna
G5Z.
get some props.
So let
And
me
you
build something for our audience because Zildjian um, the, is a brand of symbol. We have Sabian also. Jackson State has been Zildjian for since I can remember. When you got there, people don't recognize that what you are is an innovator, and I appreciate you for this because what you were bold enough to go into a culture that already had things set and say, hey, we can take this to another level. And what happened was you had two things. You had some resistance between some of the old heads, but you also had Dr. Pathea there supporting because like we didn't have, everybody with 20s when you got there. So hey, we need all 20s. We got to have the bandanas, holding our symbols together. We got to be able to polish all this type of stuff. So you had support from leadership as a freshman.
Mhm.
So I come in 3 years later, 98, and you're around, but
Mhm.
you've laid seeds those 3 years to where you have placed seeds in there that was going to live forever. You probably didn't even know that at the time, but in 98, that was the first year that we had 10 symbols players marching 20s, and everybody was cold. And everybody that came in there had something to add to the group. But you were like the godfather because I remember, and we were kind of talking about this earlier, the collaboration, working well with each other. You coming in and you being the one that were like, Yeah, that flash. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna add this right here to the meeting in the bedroom right here, and we're gonna stop right here. You would come in there and you would take everything that everybody had after they put that stuff together and mold it together.
Hmm.
Your creative piece. How did you like? Where did that come from? And the confidence in leading that group, in '98. Where did that come from? How did that happen?
Came from high school, man. I tell you, we had to challenge every day.
Yeah.
Like if you got a challenge for your spot every day, dog, come on, man, you gonna get creative. You ain't got no
Yeah.
choice. Cause
Hmm.
you like I said, you could go from first this week to third the next week. And
Right.
don't talk about during Mardi Gras season, cause like I said, we challenging all year.
Mm-hmm.
So for Mardi Gras, you want the ends.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be 1-2 to be on the end.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, and you want the end. So if you want to get thirsty or you want to see your people or you want to duck off and do something, because when you got the ends, you could do a lot in the parades. Ain't nobody gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but just that constant challenging every time, man. Like, when I got to Jackson State, it was almost like a little I could breathe a little bit because I
Mm-hmm.
ain't had these cats breathing down my neck every week, man. It was kind of like, okay, I got seniority rules, so
Facts.
you had your
Things that
upperclassmen,
go.
and then, the people who I was with, we had all, it was pretty much I wasn't about to get no too much resistance from that. And so it was like I was okay because I knew what the thing was. It was handle my business, do what I gotta do, and then just keep on flowing. So I was kind of relieved in a way, cause man, having that, cause you gotta realize a lot of these cats I came through in junior high, so we was doing the same thing in junior high, always on each other backs. And so it was like three of us, and then we had another cat came from Bell. He wound up coming to Kennedy, so he
Hmm.
was cool when he was at Bell, because we used to battle him in junior high. You see what I'm saying? They go all the way back to junior high. So we used to battle him. And then so he came to Kennedy. So now all of us in the same grade together, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So now we all running the same
Run. Yeah.
damn time. So
Challenge each other, making each other better.
yeah, that's why I said you could be first one week and fourth the next week, because nobody didn't want everybody wanted to be 1, 2. Everybody wanted to
Yeah.
say either had that section leader or that assistant section leader title. And for us, it was nobody really was gonna have it, because we
What's
were the
that feeling when
challenge.
you What's that feeling when you go to games now and you look at, because this year I know this was one of the first years that they had 10 or more symbols playing at the same time since 1998. When you look at them playing and you see, like, I see things that you guys have placed in the history of the Sonic Boom of the South, and it's still continuing. And when you see things that you put into place, how does that feel when you see that?
Oh, I feel good when I still see them over there weighing other folks out on the other side of that field, man. Especially when they, especially when they clean and they looking good, like I say,
Mhm.
because that really kind of broadcasts the band sometime. When them Z's are especially like when the bass horns are real shiny and that sun hitting that glen, everybody swinging. And even like sometimes, you know, as I got older and started going to the games, to be honest with you, when them snare drummers had them solid white sticks and they
Mhm.
clean,
Mhm.
you see that stuff from across on the other side of that
Mhm.
field,
You
man.
still
And
do you
that,
still sit on the other side of the field
oh
when you're at a home
yeah,
game?
yeah, I sit on. So I kind of bounce back and forward, but I kind of stay on Jack State side, get a little bit over there, then I go on the other side, check it out. I might come back, then go on the other side for a half, because sometimes that momentum be up and down. I be wanting to hear both sides,
Yeah.
but I always say, because you got to realize Jackson State always kept that blue with that crisp, crisp, crisp white. And I would always say when you would see them, especially when them snare sticks pop up like that, you
Oh,
see them bones, man. And that's how it is with them Z's. When them Z's clean and they look at back there that screen. When them Z's clean and you see them back there, man.
mhm.
And so that's what make me feel good when I go back there and I see them all together and they clean looking, and everybody's, even if they're not everybody not the good and all on the same level, because you could tell who's a little bit more advanced than others. But as long as they got that uniformity and they clean, man, I'm feeling good. It was a few years at Jackson State. I was like, man, we gotta pick this thing up, man. It was like they had hit a little law. It was like,
Had about three or four.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Well, not even just the amount. It was just the quality. Like they just was.
Yeah,
I
that
was
happens in
like,
any
man, we
organization.
just kind of losing that.
And a
And
little
I
off
mean,
year.
yeah, we had us a little off. I mean, the drum section for a whole kind of took a little slump for a little bit for a couple of years, but as things started to turn around, they didn't bounce back now, and I'm keeping back up with them, and I'm like, all right, they're picking up their mojo, but
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's
yeah,
something
when
I
they
admire
clean and
about
they
that.
looking good.
Yeah, that's
Oh
something
yeah.
I admire about this group that we got right now. They know how to pay homage. They might not say it verbally, but like you can see it through with the quality of music that they're putting out
Hmm.
and what they're doing, what they're making sure that's on film, what they're making sure that gets out there on the social media and everything. Because it is you can see I can see remnants of you. I can see remnants of Herman in the snare drum. I got 1212 and like I can see all these people. James Weir. I can see people in in when I'm watching
Big
these
old
guys
high.
play right now.
Big
And,
old
and
high.
it makes me pride. Oha, with the bass drums and stuff like that. It's just this confidence, this cockiness, and knowing that hey, it's nobody that can mess with us. I was about to curse,
Because
but
that
nobody.
was,
Thank you.
let me tell you,
You
Oha,
good?
that little his year, and I think that year before him, that's who really had that swing on that bass drum, man.
Mm-hmm.
When Old High and them used to come in, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he had Big Linky, Skeet and 12,
Skeeting
them
12.
boys they was like two picks with
But
a
they
big
can they,
old
they made
belly,
that thing
just
work though.
swinging. They made it look smooth because they
Yeah,
big,
man.
long, and lanky.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah, that,
painting the drum heads,
yeah.
like, and you still see that till this day. And that's the stuff I'm like, man, at least they still got some of this old school painting the heads.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I credit like even Wesley Martin. I credit him to being the percussionist that I am right now. Like he, he just he focused on a couple of us,
Hmm.
and he made us who we are, man. So like, yeah, that '95 class, you guys. I remember y'all going to Tennessee State or Memphis
Hmm.
and coming
Yeah,
back with
that was
that
fun.
W and just knocked
That
everybody
was
out.
fun.
And yeah,
That was
like people weren't
fun.
expecting that.
That was fun. Tennessee was fun. All
Hey, so peep this right here real quick. So we got about 8 more minutes left. So
right.
here's something that my brain is formulating. My brain is formulating information. We're putting things on wax, like Toby likes to say. We're putting things on wax. We're giving people information that they don't know that goes on inside of the boom, not inside the building, but inside the building, inside a section, inside a section. There are so many different things that go on. Al, I'm listening to you talk about clean symbols, the size of the symbols, flashes, creating flashes. Like there are people that don't even know what the word flash means when it comes to a symbol. Right now, somebody is like, "What's a flash?" You are basically giving that information from a symbol section. You got cymbals, bass drums, tenor drums, snare drums, and quints. That's all in the percussion section. But when you can break down small things that go on inside of the section, inside of the section, inside of the section,
That's
it
well
gives
right.
people a little bit more information, a little bit more detail about what goes on in the sonic boom of the South. Being an instrumentalist, being a percussionist, being a person that is about your business, being a person that's about just being on your horn, being on your instrument, being on your drum, being on your cymbal, whatever it is you do. So, I mean, I appreciate you. I'm not giving flowers because Toby normally does the flowers thing. Sometimes I do, but I'm not gonna do it yet.
Everybody can get flowers.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. So
I gave him flowers.
You gave him flowers. So Al, I appreciate you because you're breaking down things that I didn't even know. Like I marched with you. I was in the same band that you were in, but and I talk about this every show, Al. I talk about how I learn things every single show on the spot, right here while the timer is ticking. Like, man, you just taught me some things that I didn't even know, and I'm like floored. I'm like, really? Y'all did what? Why I didn't know that? I was too busy playing my horn right here. So I appreciate you. Al. I appreciate you, man. You're a whole legend. You're a legend.
No, he's a true legend.
Mm-hmm.
You're really a true legend, man. Literally. So one of the things that when we talked about, one of the things that I talked about was how I remember being a freshman, Crab in 1998, and Al was like the funniest dude ever. And we talked about one of our questions, one of our I have a question, like, we talked about like different things and stuff. So I was talking about how I mentioned how you were like super duper comical. You got to have one of the characteristics. Yeah, humor. Mm-hmm. Humor is something you got to have when you come to the boom, and you got to be great on your horn. Those are my two things. Danielle had her two. Toby had his 2 or 1. I don't know if he had 2 or 1, but I remember you, and it's like, man, we talking 20 years ago, 25 years ago. 25 years have gone by, man. So, man, I appreciate you, man. I really, really do. We got about 8 more minutes left on this, man. But so I'm done.
Y'all want me to tell y'all a fun fact?
Yes.
I would love to hear a fun fact because I'm probably going to laugh at this fun fact.
So remember they had, so it was SA1 and SA2.
Who was SA1? I'm sorry. I don't.
Roger Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He went to 35. Yeah, he went to 35, and he played cymbals, so he was there before me.
Okay.
So when I got there, they thought we was brothers. So they used to make us dress up every day. We had to wear the same
I hate
thing.
WT because we good for giving junior names like Moon Mully.
Stop.
Every day,
keep going.
Every day we had to come in the band hall with the same thing. If he got his hair cut a certain way, I had to have. Snap used to cut our hair just so our hair would be the same.
Shout out to Snap.
Yep. Yep. He used to cut our hair just so our haircut would be the same. We used to have to wear the same t-shirts. If he had on a certain color t-shirt and I didn't have that on, one of us better go change and go get that other t-shirt and come in that the same way. Yes, we had to go everything we did. We had to go together, sit together, eat together. Oh man, it was ridiculous.
Keep going. That's wild.
But he marched that 1 year and then he didn't march no more. But yeah, that was funny, man.
2.0, SA 2.0.
That's why he got SA2 on his name.
Because one was, and he live out here in Dallas. I tried to get him to come to Jackson State to some of the games. I don't think he ever been back since he left.
For real?
Man.
That's a whole.
That's a whole nother. New Orleans.
Look,
SA1, we welcome you. Come back, dude.
Yeah,
right.
I know, right? I'm
that's probably another.
Y'all made memories together,
right? That's like a whole nother show.
We passed that old stuff. Let's do this, man.
Right. So check this out, man. So we getting close to the end, man. But I would be remiss if I didn't say this here. So, man, do you have any shout outs, any last parting words? Something you want to share to the world, to the people, to the fans, to the boom community, to the band community, just everybody that's watching this, man. We're here, we're just sharing stories, we're having conversations, we're just having fun, man. I'm really enjoying this, man. Like, I literally get to see people I haven't seen in over 20 years. This is so wow. We had Dr. Magruder on, you know what I'm saying? So when you say Dr. Magruder, I said I'm not gonna mention his name because that's a 30-minute conversation. So I said I was not.
Yeah.
So do you have any like parting words, shout outs, anything that you want to share that's on your
I
heart,
just
that's on
want to
your mind.
say thank y'all for having me, man. And we're gonna have to get a bigger group, bring a Bethea, Magruder. We're gonna have to try to see if we could get a 95 reunion or something. But
Ooh-wee.
I just want to thank, Mr. Bethea, Mr. Magruder, R.I.P. Pops, Dr. Liddell, all them, man, because they all kind of just believed in me, gave me that shot, dealt with me. I could tell you some stories how was a wild child, So, Officer Levine, we could go way back. I
Hey.
can tell
Come
you
on.
some craziness. But all of those people, man, when I got to Jackson State, they all made it comfortable for me, and like I said, that whole just Jackson State environment was good, man. I really enjoyed my time there, and I wouldn't trade that time for the world, man. I'm kind of glad I didn't go to FAM because I don't
Right.
think I would have ever had as much fun as I had at Jackson State. I met some good people. I mean, look at us now, you know, met great
Exactly.
people. We still hanging, we kicking it, and man, look, I'm just glad to be here.
We love you,
And
man.
glad that we all could still talk about this and have these kind of memories, man. I know cats who ain't even here right,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
who can't have these memories. So I thank y'all for having me, and we need to get another one of these rounds. Bring Cortez and
Yeah.
Cowboy and get a whole
Let's get
little,
Cowboy.
The whole Z5
yeah,
team.
yeah. And we could, hey man, there's a lot of things we could get doing
Rod
with that.
Thornton,
'Cause it
Goldberg.
was a lot of good years, and even like some of them old heads. What's that boy, slim black dude who played cymbals before I got there? Who was like he had brought Joe Hall in them, and I forgot his name, but Joe knew him. If you
Mm-hmm.
oh
Joe.
a lot
I hear
a
Joe.
lot of them boys.
Joe Hall,
Yeah,
Chicken.
like Joe
Yeah.
Hall and them. Like if you really want to know, like them Joe Halls and some of them other boys like that, they know some of that deep pre 95, pre Ojai in
Yeah.
them history, and that's when and that was the thing that I learned when I got there,
AC was around
from a
there.
lot of them old heads, just how historic Jackson State band was to not only the school but to the world, man. That getting ready and all that, man, that was so big to the world. I mean, they talk about the Dion effect and what Dion did for HBCUs, man, but you got to realize when we was there in 95, 96, 97, we was packing Memorial Stadium. Oh, I'm talking about every year. My
Yep.
whole year, I think we lost like what, 6 games in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so that culture was coming even before I got there. And that's why when I got there, I was like, all right, there's some roots up in here. It's some real roots, and Jackson State was for real. And I mean, look at them now. That just
I
go
say
to,
I'm
and
glad you
even with
picked Jackson State.
y'all laid a
I
whole
swear I was about to
foundation
say the
to
same
keep
thing.
going.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you picked that. I say I'm glad you picked Jackson State.
I'm glad
Uh,
fam costs too much.
Yeah,
Right.
me
Your
too. Because
mama.
I'm gonna tell you,
Your
I
mama knew
actually
what was
met
up.
some cats from fam, you know, uh, after it was all said and done. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't go to school.
So many things wouldn't have happened if you
Right.
had gone to fam. You know what I mean? Like they were
I know
already
I'd have
playing
been
on
a oh,
12s. Like you would have had no interest
hey,
whatsoever
I
in
I
live in
playing in there.
Florida,
I know
and I'm not
I'd
gonna
have
say
probably
anything.
been a nerd for
Yeah,
real.
but
No, I feel
it
like
was
we
some
more
sauce
nerds
at
than them.
Jackson
Like,
though. It
like
was a
I
little
feel like
sauce
we're
there
smart.
already. So that's what, man, I'm
But
glad you chose
the
Jackson State
Lord
and
knew
not
what he was doing. He
He
knew I
did.
needed to go to
I
Jackson
always know.
State, and he was like, you know what? We gonna make this one unaffordable, so you could go ahead on. Then my auntie stayed there, so she was so happy to see me, and that was another thing. It brought, a side of my family that I had never even seen before. Like I think I saw my auntie, or she saw me when I was a little bitty baby. So for me to come back now as a college student and her being able to open up her house to me, for me to live there through, school and stuff like that, and getting my transitions and just being somebody I could lean on, Cause man, coming out of New Orleans in them days, man, we was wild. If you had lived past 17, you was considered lucky. So
Yeah.
for me to even get to anywhere, past 17, I was like, hey. So,
Shout out,
coming to
Auntie.
Jackson State, it taught me a lot about, discipline, and I ain't have all these things. Man, Jackson State taught me how to be a man, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Can I say
Wow.
something? How refreshing it is to hear the tone of his voice and the New Orleans accents and the
Oh,
It's
most
baby.
the
definitely.
truth, man. It's shit. I mean, it's for real,
And
man.
you
Like,
don't
I
even live
feel
in New
like
Orleans.
I don't even live in Florida, but I feel like I'm at home because like Mississippi is a gumbo. It's a gumbo,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
we get a little bit of all that, and like so just to hear his voice and to hear the tone and everything, it all feels
Because
like love.
even when I graduated from J State and went to Southern to go to engineering school, them boys used to call me J State, and I would always, talk about my J State. It was like, well, you had Southern. I was like, man, look, I said, ain't nothing like it was. I said, y'all ain't, y'all Southern or whatever. I say, but yeah, you ain't popping like we was popping over there at J State, dog. And they couldn't disagree, or
They couldn't
nobody could
disagree.
really say
They
nothing
can't.
because I was there. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I
right.
was there 4 years before I got here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in the years y'all thought some of y'all should have been gone from Southern and y'all still here. But so y'all knew it. I can tell you, you know.
Hey,
But no,
man.
man, I love all my boys who came on the yard. Like I said, a lot of them dudes, man, I was in high school with like James Trash and Big Larry Dorsey. All them boys went to Southern, man, and we was at and they used to see me at Jackson State, man, and them dudes that called me at the game, man. It was like, man, y'all looking good over there, boy. Y'all look good. Y'all look good. And I was like, hey, man, I'm just doing what I know how to do. And so yes, so it was kind of like even to this day now we still talk about that. I still catch them old heads because Kennedy have this thing in New Orleans every year called KD, and it's like it's huge. It bring out. I'm talking about if you still living in your class of whenever Kennedy started, they be out there and they out there rain, sleet, snow, or shine. They bring out their drums and them boys be like, oh, it be like, oh, look, the little majorettes and the cheerleaders still have pom poms and they be doing all this stuff. Yeah, all that, man. They be shaking it. But it's just that kind of history and that kind of stuff and that was Jack State. Even I come there tailgating and it's all them old Cat and Corey Bradford and Phil and Old High and Tellis and big and it's just everybody, man. It's all look. And,
Hey, look,
meet
man.
me
We
at
gonna
homecoming.
There
Meet on
you
Hey,
go.
Thursday.
homecoming
Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's
2024,
do it.
baby. We gonna be there. We gonna be there. Yo, so this is what we gonna do. So, SA, man, thank you so much. 100%, man.
Oh
I
yeah.
appreciate you, brother. I
Anytime.
appreciate
I
your
love to
time.
be here, man. Thank y'all for having me.
I appreciate your talent. I appreciate your skills. I appreciate your willingness to stay the course and do Jackson State, even though Jackson State was not your first automatic scenario or situation. I'm appreciative that you chose that. Choose JSU. I did.
Mhm.
I
I'm glad
did.
you chose JSU. And everybody's background is different. You know what I'm saying? But
Right,
it don't matter where you came from. It's always
right.
about where you finish.
Yeah.
And
And
you
where we
finished there,
are,
man.
man.
That's what we are.
And
We
and
are
like I
you
said,
go ahead.
it was never a slight to J State. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I knew that FAMU had an engineering school because
That's
like
it.
right now I'm a civil engineer. So
Okay.
I
That's what's
do
up.
aviation design where so all the runways and all that where the planes land, I kind of design and watch that through construction. So I knew coming out of high school that that's who, it was either FAMU or Southern University for engineering school. And I was like, man, if I go to Southern, I'm going to fail because I'm going to be with all these dudes I went to high school with because band wasn't in my radar. But
Yeah.
that's why even like I said, I had already registered at Jackson State and was in school and that I got in the band while school was going on. It was no summer band. It was the first day of school
He didn't go to
and I
band
had to
camp.
get up.
This
No,
is
I ain't
a
go to
this
none of
is
that.
such a like this
He didn't go
story
to
right
band camp.
here. This story, this story. Yeah,
No, I ain't go
like
to band.
He didn't go to
I
band camp.
was not even planning on getting it. Band was not in my future no more. I was done with band. It was engineering, and out.
And if
And
you were
then when
done
I
with
got to
band,
Jackson,
we're gonna stop it. But like, if you were done with band, our symbol section and the visuals that we have right now, like, wouldn't be where
but
they are
look,
right
let
now.
me tell you,
Right.
Jackson State brought the love back out of me. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like
Come
when
on,
I got in
Herb.
that band room and I heard that shit, and I was like, whoa. I said, yeah. And then when he gonna talk about, you want to cut me some dough?
It's like it's destined. That's destiny,
That's destiny.
right?
That's God, man.
Hey, look, Al, SA, I appreciate you, brother.
They not like
My
us.
pom
They
pom,
not like
ain't
us.
no like us. Right. Come on with it. So
Hey,
look,
let me tell
Al,
you,
don't.
Jackson State better punish everybody with that. At the end of the thing, when they in the fifth quarter, first thing they need to start out is with that not
They
like
not
us.
like
You heard
us.
me?
Nobody
Yeah.
like us. Nobody like us. Al, we appreciate you, man. Don't log off yet because we got to after the show. We got to talk and chop it up a little bit. So look, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. We are over our time, but we appreciate y'all's time. We appreciate y'all tuning into this. We had essay on this. I'm sorry, essay 2 because there was an essay 1. Nobody knows him as Alfred. They know him as essay, but we know him as essay 2. Now, thank y'all for tuning in. This is Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. This is Band Sessions with Da Boom. It's your boy Terrell Key.
Your girl Don Yeezy.
And Toby Johnson.
And we had our special guest, because all our guests are special. Our special guest, we had
essay 2 or essay.
Yes,
I just hold essay now because essay 1, he
he busy.
Where
busy.
you at, essay 1?
Busy. We gotta find him. We gotta find him.
Essay 1,
right.
you invited.
We
cookout.
get him on. We gotta talk. Right, he can definitely come. He can come to the cookout. That's funny. All right, y'all. We logging off. We getting out of here. We done. So I appreciate y'all. That's it. Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. This is Band Session with the Boom. We're done. Peace out.
Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club is presented by Bet Online.